Welcome back, my legends, and today we're going to talk about season 8 and what's probably going to happen lore wise, because I do have a general idea what the devs are going to do if you pay really close attention to the story. So I believe that in season 8 we're going to stay in Olympus, and the reason why is because there's so much unfinished business that they have to resolve, and I don't think they're going to resolve it in the next 40 days. So this is what I mean. The most important thing that we have not resolved since season 5 is Lova trying to get Revenant's head. We've been hearing it constantly from Revenant that he wants to get his source code so that way Lova can finish him off and he can rest in peace. Although judging by what happened with the Shadowfall event in Halloween, Shadow Revenant basically taunted Revenant, telling him that, hey, you're not living up to your true potential.
The fact that you dare think we're equals is a joke. Just like you. Does he ever stop talking? Shut up already. Perhaps time as a shadow will teach my counterpart humility. Why don't you come down here and face me so we can find out which Revenant is truly king? Now maybe you'll see your true potential. Someday. Maybe.
And I also remember in season 6, Revenant asked for Rampart if he can get some mods.
Hey, Wrench Girl, we should talk about modifications.
Mate, you don't need mods. You need a psychiatrist.
Yeah, whatever. I want to know about these modifications you make.
Haven't you had enough? You bloody wannabe devil.
Which is very interesting because if Revenant was planning on dying, why does he need to get upgraded? Why does he want mods? That only makes sense if he's planning on living. So I wouldn't be surprised if season 8 is based on getting Revenant's head, and what happens is that at the very end he betrays Lova and decides that he'd rather live. So yeah, I believe that in season 8 or 9 we're going to have either a PvE mode where we had to go Revenant's head, and then at the end when Lova does get his head, Revenant betrays her and decides to live. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen in one of those seasons. And if we don't get that in season 8, that's probably going to be season 9. What I think is going to happen is that quest wise, we're going to learn about Octane's dad, because Olympus is really home to only 3 legends: Lifeline, Octane, and Lova. Yes, I know Horizon technically used to live in Olympus, but she's been gone for so long, 70 to 80 years, that I don't think she has any connections with anybody anymore. So we really can't say that this is her home because it really isn't anymore. It's completely different. So in season 8, if Lova is not going to be the focus point of getting Revenant's head, what they could do is make a story where they talk about Octane. Now, the timing of this couldn't be any better because we were supposed to get a story from the Outlands this season, but it looks like they moved it up to next season because this season we're getting a collection event in the fight night that's being hosted by Pathfinder. So it looks like next season we're going to get stories from the Outlands that's going to be about Lifeline's past. And so far, every story from the Outlands, it's always been in the world that makes sense. So for Raves, she was experimented in King's Canyon, so of course her story of her past has to be in King's Canyon. Bloodhound's story from the Outlands happened in World's Edge, so of course it had to go be in World's Edge. So what this means is that Lifeline's story, since her home planet is Olympus, her story has to take place in Olympus. So I'm almost 99% sure that Olympus is going to be season's 8th map, where we're going to probably learn about Lifeline's past, more specifically how her parents basically were trying to manage her life, basically managing her life and deciding every decision for her until she met Octane, who basically is a person that did whatever he wanted when he wanted. There was no stopping him. And I guess his influence of freedom spread towards Lifeline. And because of Octane, she probably started to try out new things. For example, we know that her dad basically told her that she was in a band before, which I'm guessing this is where her heirloom comes into play. So everything points towards season 8 being in Olympus, which will make sense because since season 1, we always gotten a map in King's Canyon and then a B2 version. And once we went to World's Edge, we played there for 1 season, and then the next season in season 4, we got World's Edge B2. So to me, it makes more sense if we get Olympus B2 in season 8, and we also get the story of Lifeline, of what happened to her in the past and how she figured out her parents were war criminals. So that really takes care of the 3 major legends that live in Olympus, but that only leaves Horizon. What is is Horizon going to do? Because the writers had to put her in the story because she is a brand new legend and Olympus pretty much is her former home. Well, this leads me to what I think is going to be the next legend in the series based on lore, because the writers have given us pretty much enough evidence to tell us that it's pretty much going to be either two characters. It's either going to be Ash or Cuban Blisk, because in season 6 at the end of the chapter you can see that Cuban Blisk basically tells Ash that an old friend has popped up again, and that old friend is Horizon, because I made a theory that Ash is actually Dr. Reed, Horizon's former partner that betrayed her. Now it will make 100% sense if either Cuban Blisk or Ash is the next legend for season 8 or season 9. It doesn't matter, but it's almost guaranteed that it's gonna be one of those two because nobody else has any connection towards Horizon as of now. But lore wise, it's very clear that Ash and Blisk are going to go try to find Horizon and basically tell her something very important from the looks of it, because from that last comic it looks like Cuban Blisk knows something that Horizon will find very interesting. So it looks like Ash and Blisk are going to need Horizon's help, so my bet it's going to be one of these two, although it is possible Respawn could troll me and it could be a completely different legend than I'm expecting. But if it is one of these two, I'm guessing it might be Cuban Blisk, just because if it's Ash, it's just going to be such a toxic environment. Like, you're just going to see Horizon and Ash pretty much trying to kill each other. Horizon is basically going to want revenge on Ash, and Ash is going to know that Horizon's going to want revenge, so she's going to defend herself. So I think it'll be better if Cuban Blisk joins the games first. That way he can convince Horizon and Ash not to fight each other and actually work together for one common goal, and that's going to be to take down the Syndicate and Hammond Robotics. So yeah, my legends, this is what the next few seasons of Apex Legends lore wise is going to be about. So yeah, let me know what you think and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
There's no more time for us to turn back and hit rewind. No more chances to reverse back in time. There's no more choice to look behind. And in the end, all the sadness that had ripped into my heart so many times, but still I'll go on. I can feel my heart beating